When you watch a strange movie, it is not always good, and in this case, it is mostly on the bad side. This movie tries too much in my opinion, and the result is something that probably feels like the strangest movie you will ever see in your life. Bad Times at El Royale is a movie that tries to be a version of Pulp Fiction, but the problem is that they do it in the most advanced way possible. For those of you that need a closer explanation of my point, in Pulp Fiction you see these different storylines, and at some point the characters in the storylines all interact with each other. The problem here, however, is that there are too many storylines that makes the movie feel a little too dragged. There is so much content to press in here, and when you need to tell so many stories wrapped into a movie that lasts just over 2 hours, you create a very ambitious project that really feels very messy. It is difficult to stay engaged during the whole movie, and it would have worked better with fewer storylines. Also, what makes this movie feel very strange is due to the sudden character building within the movie. This movie would have worked so much better as a show, and it's like a show made into a movie. You see both Matt Holland, Chris Hemsworth, and Jeff Bridges in different backstories, which surely has a connection to the movie, but it takes too much of the time from the actual plot of the movie. That can especially be said about the backstory of Chris Hemsworth and Jeff Bridges. You can see how the character of Chris, Billy meets Emily, the character of Dakota Johnson, and he is the leader of this crazy cult that also makes her daughter Rose evil. In Jeff Bridges' backstory, you see how he, in his character as Father Flynn, is actually a bank robber and has hidden some money at a room in the hotel, which he doesn't remember. Well, this movie is the strangest one you will ever see in your life. You also have a very good performance by Jeff Bridges here. As this undercover priest, he does the role very good, and his cover is not blown until very late in the movie. The way he plays as this old trickster with Alzheimer's is very enjoyable to watch, and it is one of his better acts in recent years. One other reason why this movie feels very strange is due to the hotel itself. Why they are watched inside the rooms aren't really very good explained. They just end up with that it's some sort of pervert hotel. Tom Holland just says it is something about his bosses want control or something. He also tells the strange stories of what he has seen, and all the time he wants to confess to Jeff Bridges, which of course is the priest in disguise. Compared to what I've seen before from him, however, Tom Holland does a fine act here. In this strange character that apparently has done so much evil, he acts very believable, and you can really feel him come alive. That distinguishes from what he does in movies like Spider-Man and Uncharted, where his act just feels flat and hollow. But here, he shows himself in a way I haven't seen before. Although the strangeness is for the most part not so good in this movie, the ending part is one of the strong features of this movie. When you see Chris Hemsworth having tied up everyone in the room, and they start to play this dead man's roulette, that is one of the strangest, if not of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. He asks them to pick a color, and if they don't pick the right one, he shoots them dead. Of course, in the end, Jeff Bridges gets tired of this game, saves the day, and manages to turn the situation 360 degrees. He manages to take down Chris Hemsworth, and an ending that seemed rather dark turned into a better one. Before the credits roll, you see him in Reno watching the black singer in the movie, and she smiles at him, and they are the only ones that are okay. The rest just falls down, and if you have seen a Tarantino ending like the one in Django Unchained, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, if you want to know my rating on it, it is a 6 out of 10, and at times it feels too dragged because of the high ambition that gets too high, and yeah, the too many storylines and too many characters which don't really fit into the execution and the development of the story.